What up, Wargamers? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Stos, and today we are back for another Let's Hobby. This is my video series where I show you what I've been working on and what I have been getting done. So, I've been doing a ton of work on my Warhammer Fantasy Battles Dwarfs army. You would have seen in the last battle report that there was a lot that was undone. None of the bases had been done yet. I was proxying a unit of miners as a unit of Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. I just didn't have another unit at the time, so that's what I was using. I've since managed to cobble together a unit of 20 with great weapons slowly over eBay purchases. There's a couple of like old miniatures, new miniatures. It's a little bit of a mash, but I've got them all painted up. They're looking fresh. All the bases are done, at least for the stuff that I used last time. I've got a bunch of stuff primed to expand the army out to 2,000 points. I'm still yet to do any work on the Orc and Goblin force that you saw. I'm getting it. It's taking time though, people. It takes time. So yeah, I'll show you those. I've been doing some work on Necromunda. I've been doing some like Hive Scum and Hangers on. I've been working on a Genestealer Cult gang and a couple of the extra new models for the Orlock gang. So yeah, without any further ado, let's have a look at what I've been working on and what I've been getting done. Okay, and here is my finished 1500 point Warhammer Fantasy Battle Dwarf army that I am playing 6th edition with. Yeah, pretty stoked to have had it done. So let's just start down the front here. We've got my Dwarf Thane or Dwarf Lord at 1500 points. He's being used as a Thane. He's largely, as you saw him in the last game, but he's just been finished off. His beard was just like a dark grey before with a wash over it, and since then I've worked it up to a pure white highlight. I think it looks awesome. It's kind of the centerpiece of the model. It kind of draws the eye and it looks fantastic. I really like it. I like this sculpt. The base has been, dry brushed, had some brown put into it, and, just put some some little bits of grit and grass around it just to finish him off. And there he is. That is my Thane, or soon to be Dwarf Lord once I move up to 2,000 points. The Roon Smith is as you saw him before, except he has just had his base done. Put the grit on. So it is the basing material that I'm using is a mix of sieved dirt straight from my yard, a fine grained sand, and a really coarse sand that I got just straight off the beach. Glued that on there with some PVA, put a thinned down mix of like a cheap acrylic brown paint. I think it's burnt sienna. And put some little static grass on there, dry brushed it Dawnstone, and there it is. There she goes. Oh yeah, with a black wash as well. I put a black wash over the burnt sienna. Just a homemade dodgy black wash. And that's how all the bases in the army have been done. I think they look pretty cool. It's kind of like, mountainous terrain. There's still some brown dirt, but it's, all of the rocks are that nice, mountain grey. So, looking pretty cool. So this unit is the one that was already done last game, and to be honest with you guys, I didn't actually paint this unit. I bought it pre-painted off eBay when I was making this army, and it was painted blue and white originally. You can still it's still got the white trim, and I wanted it to match my army, but I didn't want to have to repaint the whole thing, particularly for the last video. I just wanted to get some stuff on the table and film something. So I just painted all the cloth that was blue-green, put a couple of gold bits on the guys in the front to match the amount of gold. I'm kind of doing the green and gold and brown for this army. So, but yes, I didn't paint this unit, but they're painted good enough that, I was pretty happy to just get them on the field like this once they had the green to mix in with the army. Maybe one day I'll go back and paint the flesh, because honestly the flesh is the stuff that's like, I don't know, it's a little on the dodgy side. It's not bad though. And, on the tabletop, she looks good. But this right here is the unit that I've actually painted myself completely from start to finish, and I think they look freaking sweet. So yeah, this unit was bought hodgepodge off eBay again, just little bits, pieces here and there, and finally made up a unit of 20 of these boys. You can see there's some of the newer sculpts. which honestly I don't like as much as the old ones. I think the old ones were better. All you have to do is look at the chainmail, and the chainmail links on the old ones had this great interlocking thing going on that really makes it look like chainmail. And the chainmail links on the new models, they're just like little like divots that have been put in, just like little holes. They're nowhere near as good. But there's only a few of them in there. The vast majority are these cool old sculpts. And yeah, I'm really happy with how they turned out. I think they look fantastic. It's been a while since I've painted a unit of 20 guys from start to finish. Man, it's a slog. Like, I've been painting stuff for Necromunda, and it's just kind of painting like, 10 guys, and that's to do like the bulk of a whole gang. And then you just start painting them one at a time. And a single miniature is a joy to paint from start to finish. But painting a 20-man unit all at once, it starts to feel like work. But when they're done, the satisfaction levels, when they're all ranked up like this, they're high. So I'm really happy with how they turned out, and I'm going to be stoked to get them on the field in the next battle report. And then the Iron Breakers, you saw these guys last time, but last time, to be honest, the front rank was the only rank that actually had like a wash put over it. Everything else in the back ranks was just base coated. Nothing else was done. There was no depth to them, no highlighting. So they've all been done now. They've all had a wash put on them. They're all up to a state that I'm quite happy with them. They've all had their bases done. The banner wasn't actually painted last time either. It was just kind of, blank brown rather than even up to cream. I did it pretty simple, pretty standard, but I'm pretty happy with that. I painted that little symbol on the right, the red one. The one on the left is sculpted into it, but that one on the right, that was all me, baby. I've been using that standard bearer as my Thane battle standard bearer model because I don't have one of them. I'd love to pick one up, but they are like, it's going to cost me like $100 or a little bit more, a little bit over $100 Australian to get one of these guys off eBay. So I'm struggling to pay that much money just for this one model. So for now, he is my Thane battle standard bearer, but I'll probably pick one up eventually. Eventually, I'll bite the bullet, I'll spend the money, and I'll get a proper one. But yeah, that's the Iron Breakers. I think they look awesome, and you can see there's 3 of the old school metal models in that second rank there, which I love. I honestly loved those models. I do think the new ones are fantastic. At first, when I saw them, I was all like, oh, they're not the old models, but man, they're beautiful. They are beautiful Ironbreaker models. I've always loved Ironbreakers. The idea of the fully armored Gromril dwarves is just, it's a sight. So yeah, that's me Ironbreakers, looking fresh. The Thunderers, again, as you saw them from last time, maybe a couple extra highlights, mainly on the skin, just to bring it out a bit. And the bases are done as well. There they are, Thunderers. Dwarf Cannon, exactly the same. And then the Organ Gun. These guys have had a bit of an update. The crew wasn't painted, the bases weren't done, and now they are painted. This model in particular, I just freaking love. It's a beautiful sculpt. They've even gone so far as to sculpt, I don't know if you can see it, he's got stomach hair sculpted into him above his pant line there, and armpit hair, you see that? How classic is that? Stomach and armpit hair. What a great old model. They're so jaunty. So yeah, they're done as well. I'm stoked to have this old organ gun all finished and looking slick. And as you can see in the back here, this is the stuff that I have primed to expand the army out to 2,000 points. So we've got a unit of the Dwarf Warriors with hand weapons and shields. Again, a mix of old and new miniatures. Majority of them are the sweet old sculpts that I love, and some of them are the monopose stuff from Battle for Skull Path, something like that. The starter set that came with the dwarves and the goblins. So yeah, these guys are going to be painted up at some stage. Another 20-man unit for me to fucking churn through. But such is life. We got another unit of Thunderers ready to go. Another cannon. This, I believe, is the Hammerer champion. But I might just use him as a Thane or something because I don't actually have hammers. Again, just kind of pick this guy up on eBay. This model is another one of the old metal models that I just think is so freaking cool. He's got this real, like, I don't know, dwarf, like, that's been adventuring to other lands kind of stuff. Like, the helmet is like, you know, it's not your classic kind of dwarf looking helmet with its like nasal piece. The big double-handed axe. Super cool. To be honest, I'll probably try and get this guy painted up to replace him as my Thane when I'm using a 1500 point army, because he definitely has a bit more of a Thane kind of vibe to him, where this guy, like, you know, with his outrageous cape and his huge back piece, he's obviously a Dwarf Lord. He ain't no Thane. So at the moment, he's what I got painted, so, you know, you might see him in the next battle report, but ideally, he is going to be my replacement Thane. So that's him there. I've got just a couple of extra Thunderers primed up, ready to go, to sub out for like your command squad, so that if I decide that I'm not putting my command squad into the unit, I'll have just, you know, the requisite amount of Thunderers to just chuck in there, so that they're naked, basically. And then one more Dwarf Cannon with a crew. So yeah, with when I get the rest of that painted, I haven't actually written the army list, but I'm assuming with like an extra 20 Warriors, an extra 10 Thunderers, a Cannon, probably an extra Thane, so that there'll be, you know, a Lord, a Roon Smith, a Thane, a Battle Standard Bearer. That's probably more than 2,000 points, to be honest. But yeah, that is it. That is my current 1,500 point Dwarf army, all finished. And what is hopefully going to be eventually my 2,000 point Dwarf army. I do have some more stuff. I've got a bunch more Thunderers. So I could have, like, you know, a big unit of 20 Thunderers, or like I've easily got enough for another unit of 10 Thunderers, maybe even another. So like, we'll see. We'll see. So there should be at least a little bit of variety as well, you know, mixing and matching a little bit with this amount of stuff. So yeah, that's where we're at with these boys. Okay, and so now this is what I've been doing with my Necromunda stuff. So for my Orlok gang, I've been working on the, what are these guys called? Oh god, what are they called? It's the Road Sergeant? No, the Road Sergeant's the standard one. What are these? An Arms Master. Yes, my Arms Master with the Arc Hammer. Yeah, super stoked with how this guy turned out. He looks awesome. I'm using him in a current campaign that I've been playing with a bunch of guys, and man, he is doing work. He is absolutely ruining people with that Arc Hammer. I'm saving up credits to actually get him the full servo harness, which, you know, is kind of what he's modeled with all of that business on his legs and back and arms, which will just make him just an absolute beast. But yeah, he looks awesome. I like his, like, kind of like Jason Voorhees, like Voorhees, however you say that name, kind of mask that he's got going on. Beast, absolute beast. And then the Prospect, yeah, the Prospect level with their jump boosters, which is just so awesome. This chick, I've also been using her in my campaign, and she has also been doing great. She's managed to put down like an enemy leader in her opening debut game. So, you know, the gang's very impressed with her. Sonya is her name, Sonya Blade, ahoy. So yeah, again, pretty stoked with how she's turned out. You know, these guys have been painted pretty simply, but they just, you know, to match the rest of my Orlok gang. And then here is the Genestealer Cult gang that I've started messing around with. These guys were my first experimentation with contrast paints, which is a bit of fun. I used the contrast orange on these guys. I can't remember the name of it. Griff Charger Orange, maybe, is the contrast name. And I tell you what, you know, having tried to use a bit of orange before, like classic orange, this is just a dream. It is an absolute dream. I'll never paint normal orange again. This orange just goes on so cleanly, a single coat, and it is freaking beautiful. Come on. There he is. Yeah, I used the Black Templar as well, and all the kind of like rubbery kind of stuff on his knees and elbows and chest. And then yeah, weathered him up. I'm pretty stoked with how this ended up looking. These guys look awesome. And that's them down there. Just a group of neophytes. As you can see back here, these are ones that are kind of in the process to get to that level. You know, they've just had the orange done, but no weathering on the white armor pieces. The skin hasn't been done, the guns haven't been done, but that's kind of what they look like as they're a work in progress. I got one of these bad boys to add to the gang as well. Again, he's just been Zenithal primed, ready to give it a bit of a crack. But yeah, he'll be getting added to the gang. Just start getting a bit of a Genestealer Cult gang happening. And then over here, we have my Hive Scum bounty hunters and whatnots. So this is Grub Targson, I believe, the named bounty hunter. I'm just using him as Hive Scum in the current campaign that I'm playing, but, you know, just having him done. I love this sculpt. He looks so cool. With his weird hunchback thing and pipes going into it. Yeah, he's a great model. Beautiful sculpt. And then this is a bounty hunter that I've made out of the like Catachan Command Squad sprue. I'm at a point in a campaign where I get a free bounty hunter every game. Because I've got like mad rep basically, and so I've kitted this guy out with a grenade launcher, a hotshot las gun, and photo goggles and mesh armor. So yeah, and you know the only thing that's really Necromunda is this Goliath shoulder pad that I've put onto him, just to make him look a little more ragtag, and of course the classic Necromunda base. So yeah, I imagine he is some sort of like ex-Imperial Guard guy that, you know, kind of got, you know, drummed out of the army / deserted, and is now hiding out down on Necromunda, trying to, you know, make his way, make a bit of a living. And then I got my rogue doc, Dr. Nick. Yeah, he's a fun little model. He's like the Aquila Lander pilot from like one of the old 40k starter sets, but he makes a fantastic like rogue doc. I actually got the idea from Ash from Guerrilla Miniature Games. He used this model as a rogue doc, and I happen to have this like sitting around, and I was just like, man, that is a perfect model. It's such a great idea, and a rogue doc is such a good like hanger on to have in a campaign. So I did him up. Big thanks to Ash for the inspiration. You're a bit of an inspiration for this whole YouTube channel, to be honest, my man. So yeah, this is Dr. Nick. There he is. Hi, everybody. And then I painted up this guy recently, a classic 90s metal Goliath model. Jeez, man, these guys are fun. Isn't he disgusting? Look at the size of that shoulder. And yeah, and again, I'm just using him as Hive Scum. Just like he's like the random Hive Scum that I hire out of the blood pits, which is, yeah, he's fun. What a stupid model. I mean, you know, stupidly wonderful. And then I made these just recently. If you watched my last Necromunda battle report, you would have seen these. I made them to represent Ghast harvest tokens. Yeah, really simple. Just bought these acrylic crystals, stuck them to a base with the same grit that I was using on my dwarf army. Painted it up to look like kind of rusty, you know, detritus, earth, whatever you want it to be. These could be used for a bunch of different things, but at the moment I'm using them for Ghast markers. And these I got from Resin Crystals conversion set. I think it's Green Stuff? Yes, Green Stuff World. Yeah, they were super cheap, super awesome. You get like a huge amount of them. I've got so many of these, way more than I needed for these, you know, couple little tokens, but who knows, I could use them for something else. And then this is something that I also just got recently off eBay. My my Ambot, because we're about to go into downtime in the campaign that I'm playing at the moment, which means we're going to get a whole bunch of creds, and I'll definitely have enough to buy one of these bad boys. So I've got one game that I'm playing soon, and then it's downtime, and I'm going to get this guy painted up for when we come back in for the second half of the campaign. Awesome sculpts. Look at these things. They are so great. And you know, Orlok gangs get these guys for a little bit cheaper, so here they come. Here comes our mining automata. So awesome. And then lastly, we have the now infamous Cursed City, which I have done absolutely nothing with in terms of starting it. After doing my unboxing, I was super keen to start having a crack at this thing. And then, you know, everything happened with it being like no longer available and all of the controversy that's happened since then. Honestly, it's just taken the wind out of my sails in terms of getting started on this. So I haven't done anything on it, it's sad. I absolutely intend to. I'm gonna start putting the models together. I'm gonna start painting them. But yeah, I was pretty disappointed with everything that's been happening with it. I'm hoping that, you know, Games Workshop, you know, comes out and sorts it out, you know, tells us eventually that, hey, actually it's all sorted, it's back on the line, and it's gonna be supported, and there's gonna be expansions. Like, I'm sad for everyone that didn't get one, that stinks, but I wanted it to actually be a continuing, ongoing product like Blackstone Fortress was. I was super stoked to have gotten in on the ground floor with this and to, you know, be a part of it as it grows. I've also seen all of the reviews saying that, you know, the game has like really bad pacing issues. So that's also made me not like super keen to just start doing a whole lot of work on it. So instead, the bulk of my hobby time has been going into my dwarf army, my Warhammer Fantasy Dwarf army. So yeah, I mean, I'm super stoked with everything I've done here, but I am very sad about, you know, what's been happening with this. I'll get to it, I absolutely will. But that is it, guys. That is what I have been working on and what I have been getting done. Okay, and there it is, another Let's Hobby video done. Yeah, I'm super stoked with the progress on my Warhammer Dwarves, my Warhammer Fantasy Battle Dwarf army. I think they're looking great. Hopefully I'll get some work done on the Orc army that you saw in the last battle report. It's a lot. I desperately want to film another battle report for you guys because I really enjoyed doing it and I got some great responses from you, but I just want to show progress. I want to show that I'm committed to making this as good as I can. The Necromunda stuff is looking great as well. Want to do some more of those. I'm keen to do some 40k battle reports. But yeah, you know, thanks for watching heaps, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all those things. And until next time, I'm Stoss. Happy wargaming, and be good to your mother.